Hi, welcome back to Move365. It's true. People who fall down over the age of 70 are at a massively higher risk of ending up in hospital and possibly not coming out. And certainly there is an increased risk of mortality, morbidity after that fall than there was before. So falling down is a bad idea, and the older we are, the worse of an idea it is. Sounds obvious. What do we do about it? Well, we need good balance. We need to be able to improve our balance when we're younger so that we can carry that improved function into our older years. Simple thing that we can do. Brush our teeth standing on one leg. You're going to be there at the sink 2 minutes twice a day. Switch to your left hand. Brush, 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 brush. Standing on one leg, balancing, balancing, balancing. Now, to begin with, balance can sort of look a little bit like that. You find you can't really do it without all this counterbalancing of your arms. As you get better at it, and it's a highly trainable skill, so quickly, relatively quickly, you will see that you don't have to do that anymore, that actually you can bring your arms down into a more controlled position and you can simply balance on the one leg without it looking like you're trying to juggle at the same time. A minute on one side, a minute on the other side. Stand tall when you do it so that you get some good activation from your glutes. Standing on one leg is one of the finest ways to wake up your glute muscles. A little bit of light engagement of your abdominal muscles as well. That also is something that you can introduce to this movement. It'll help you with that stabilization. So that's a simple thing that you can do every day, twice a day, every time you brush your teeth. The other thing that's helpful for not falling down is being able to lunge. Now, we've done previous videos on lunging. There we looked at lunging as a backward movement, so sitting down into the hip, activating the glute and the thigh musculature. Very important to be able to do this going forwards as well, because when we're moving, we're generally walking forwards a lot of the time. So being able to control that step forward onto the front leg is essentially the beginnings of a lunge movement. So I'm just going to angle the camera down so that we can see a little bit more of my legs as I do this. So I can have the table here for some support as I step forwards and lunge down onto my front leg. My back leg is there for some support, but I'm not really putting a lot of load or weight through it. So lunge forwards and down. I'm trying to make sure that my knee doesn't drift too far forward of my ankle. So I want really to keep the knee no further forward than the ankle, and I'm lunging down, putting the load into my quad and into my glute. Okay, you can do it in free air, free space, or I can have something to hold on to, and I can do it just a small distance, or I can go for a much deeper movement if I have the flexibility and the strength to do it. It's very, very useful when tying shoes in a spine sparing way without having to sit down and bend forwards. It's also quite useful if you're going to put your foot up on an object like a step or a chair, in order to have that capacity to step forward and control your deceleration, essentially your braking into that position. And obviously. If we're going to fall down, let me just re-angle this camera. If we're going to fall down, often we will be moving forwards. The ability to trip and stop that movement with that strong lunge pattern is highly protective. So this is why it will pay you to practice lunge movements. Knee not going in front of the ankle, sitting down into the hip. Have something to hold on to, a bookshelf in this case, a wall will suffice, table, get a chair, get 2 chairs, use them like parallel bars if you want to. Step forward and back, forward and back. Let me show you that knee position, not going in front of my ankle. Stepping forward, lunging down into the hip, into the thigh. I hope those are things that you feel that you can use. Please drop some comments down below, like and subscribe, and remember, life's better when you're moving.